Hey Taurus, so this is going to be your general reading for March 2017. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for liking, subscribing, everything, leaving comments, all of it. I really appreciate it. All right, just to get it out the way, if somebody's using my videos or whatever, just report them. It happens to other tarot readers. So I might as well just mention it now in case it happens to me. Enable your notifications as well because I might have a new video up, but you won't get noticed about it. So right next to the red subscription box, there's like a bell or whatever. So I guess you click that if you want to get notified. I don't know. It should happen automatically, but you know how YouTube is. Follow my Twitter. I just do like extra little things over there. Just like short little readings, and I might talk about astrology from time to time. I've been kind of bad with that lately, but I'm trying to get back into it. And I'm still giving personal readings. I'm extending my discount through March. So yeah, just email me if you're interested. My information is in the description box. Okay, Taurus. So you guys have had it pretty tough. You and a few other signs I've noticed since I've been doing this. I've had it more tough than others. Astrologically, if we look at what's going on in your 12th house, which is Aries, you guys have a lot of energy. Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, by the way. General reading. With these readings, I haven't seen much love in the way, or love-focused stuff. But I've seen a lot of things. So, yeah, just general. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff happening in your 12th house, which deals with the parts of ourselves that we don't know about, the part of ourselves that is foreign and unknown to us. It's the house of our undoing. It's what drives us to either our highs or our lows. It's a very karmic house, I guess you could say. And so with Mars, Venus, and Uranus there in the 12th house, I feel like for a lot of you, it's going to be a period of really coming to terms with everything, how you treat, or how the people in your life treat you, men and women, how you're able to deal with, circumstances beyond your control. And also that's all that energy squaring Pluto and Capricorn, as well as opposing Jupiter and Libra. So there's this you're seeing all of these you're seeing all these issues manifest themselves, not only probably within your relationships sector, but also within like your work sphere. And so it's probably hard for you to get a grip on things right now because Taurus, like all Earth energy, is very dependent upon consistency and reliability. And so when that isn't afforded to you, things can kind of go haywire. And especially right now with how we have a lot of lingering problems going on in the world, in this country. And I feel like it's impacting everybody in a different way. Okay, so we have the Nine of Pentacles reversed, crowning. Okay, a lot of reversals here, but I'm taking this to mean that there's something that's in the process of happening. That's usually how I see, especially if there's a lot of reversals. There's something underway. So in the center, we have the King of Pentacles reversed. We have the Six of Cups reversed. The Six of Swords reversed. The Ten of Swords reversed. Justice, which is, I think, the only upright card here, which is very interesting. Two of Wands reversed. King of Wands reversed. Seven of Swords reversed. and the Eight of Swords reversed. So we have the 6, 7, 8, and 10 of Swords. All reversed. The only card that's upright is Justice. And in the center we have the King of Pentacles, which I'm taking to be you, Taurus. Excuse me. So right now, things are in a process of being reconstructed. Something is happening right now where you understand the precariousness of your situation, or at least in terms of where you've been with regards to, it could be a significant other. I'm clearly seeing another person here. Could be a fire sign, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, or somebody that has a lot of that fiery energy. That could be a bit of a sort of bossy bully. And I feel like coming into March, you're questioning, well, you don't even have to question it. The universe is showing you what, sort of like the reality of this person. It's showing you, I'm getting the sense that you're lifting the facade, you're lifting the veil, or at least you're questioning whether or not you need to be dependent on this person at all, or that's what you should be asking yourself. You should be asking yourself, do you need to sort of be in the midst of somebody that is going to make continued errors, continued lies, continued deceptions? You guys are going around, round and round and round, back and forth. And I feel like you're questioning this union, this soulmate union. And if you're not in a relationship, or if you're not, if you're dating people, you're just going through the motions of sort of, one, not realizing what you want, not truly understanding, or not being willing or being able to give what you truly want in a relationship, or not being able to receive that if you're not dating. If that's not the case, I see you guys, if it's a work situation or a spiritual lesson that you just keep hitting the same block again and again. And so I feel like with this Nine of Pentacles crowning, it's all about you trying to understand. Six of Swords reverse, intense analysis. Six of Swords is a very scientific card. It's I read about it in a different deck, but I've taken it to sort of be true. Like when you think about it, we're moving out. We're trying to navigate out of a situation. If you see, the tribe tradition picture of this man leading these helpless people out of stormy water into an uncertain future. It's certainly better than where they've come from. But that's the thing with the Six of Swords. It's all about risk. But it's also about balance. It's about knowing that if you've come out of an incredibly crappy situation, you know how to make the best of that. If you choose to take what you've learned and implement that into some sort of future. Six of Swords it is cautious, but it's like a cautious risk. It's a risk that you know will pay off. Reverse, there's hesitation here. Maybe you've already taken the lead. Maybe you've gotten the signal, Justice, that, things need to change. Things can't go on as they are. Things must be different in order for you to actually feel some sense of worth within yourself. Because somebody else got the Seven of Swords reversed, or Seven of Swords in general. I forgot. I want to say Pisces, but you guys it's time for you guys to not play the fool. Because I think doing so will only further lead to more disappointment and more heartbreak. But I feel like that part of you is necessary because there is something that you haven't been willing to look at, head on. I got this very similar message with Scorpio. It's like there's a part of yourself, there's a part of your current situation that you don't want to take that last sword out. It's in you and you're just like, you're still reeling from the pain. You're still you're still trying to make sense of what is happening. And again, I'm not sure, this could be anything. Work situation, love, because we have pentacles and we have swords. We have Six of Cups, which I feel like that's outside of the Two of Cups and the Ace of Cups. That's a really loving, sort of lovey-dovey sort of card. And so I feel like with whatever you're trying to deal with and ending to, it involves your passion, it involves your soul, it involves something you've put a lot of love and a lot of time into, something that you feel like made you complete at one time, but now it's just like the feeling is totally different. You're not even sure if this is. You need to ask yourself, is this what you actually truly want? Because for some reason, I'm getting the sense that you're not allowing yourself to actually take the time to see where you might be working a lot. I've gotten this energy for you guys as well, Taurus, that you're working really hard. And it's just like you might just be working and working and working, but to no end goal. You might be working and working to get yourself out of something that, some sort of mental anguish, something that, because the Nine of Swords is missing here. And the Nine of Swords is that, it's holding on to that last piece of like anxiety. It's our refusal to budge from every sort of, all the pain and all of the misery and all the, all the lies that have come before it. And it's just like, it's all about ruminating, because the final blow hasn't been landed, it hasn't been given yet, it hasn't been dealt yet. But I'm getting the sense that you guys are within that. Something bad has happened, or you've got something under. Everybody has intuition, so you just know, like, deep in your heart or something, that something's just off. And maybe maybe you're trying to not look at it. Maybe you're just ignoring it. And it's just like, you're probably more focused on external things around the situation, because we do have the 6, 7, and 8 of Swords just all reversed, which are very dodgy sort of energies. The 8 of Swords reversed, that's speaking more about realizing that shit's about to hit the fan, or realizing that, wow, you've reached a point in your mental thinking that you feel like there's no going back. This is like it's like the pre-anxiety before the actual anxiety of the Nine of Swords. This is just like intense worry, and something around you is giving you a feeling that things aren't, it's hard for you to fully put into, it's hard for you to fully rationalize with all these thoughts, these communicative energies with the swords. And so I feel like, again, Taurus, you're out of your element. You're out of being able to put, like, let's say if this is another person, it's hard for you to put, it's hard for you to convey that to the other person, or you're finding it hard just through, you're ignoring the problem. I'm getting the sense that you're probably just working overtime, or maybe money isn't good right now, and you are more concerned about your finances, and you are more concerned, and at the same time, you're still dealing with people around you that are difficult. A particular person, or I see a workplace, I see friends. You're just around people right now that are probably going through things right now in their own life, and they're not trying to be, negative probably, but you're taking it personally. And right now you feel very insecure about your finances. I'm really getting that. Or you are in the process of really trying to build back up your finances because you feel like you want to save for a rainy day, because you don't know how this person's going to work out, and you're not certain if you're working at a job, if you're still going to care for working there in any sort of extended period of time. And you guys, you don't have your eye on the future, which is a good thing. But I feel like because of that, you have to keep your eyes honed in on the present. You have to stay incredibly focused and determined about what's happening now, because I can't stress just how important it is. Not only is the Justice card upright, but it's the only major arcana on the deck. And it's in such a crucial place in this reading, where it's like you have to, whether or not you want to open your eyes up or not, I feel like you're going to understand that what you put out or what you give or what other people give you, if it's not fair, if it's not equal, if it's not balanced, if it's not based on some sort of truth, if it's just built on fallacies or a shaky foundation or just hostility, that's not going to be able to, how you choose to react to that, how you choose to react to your external situations is going to really impact how you make your future decisions. So let's say you are in, you're getting into it with a close partner or a best friend. If you keep feeding that negative energy, one, the relationship will degrade even further. Like, even if you are trying to make it, or even if you do feel like you can make something good out of this or make something great or better happen because of it, in the end, that's only going to sort of drag you down further with that person, or it's going to build up more hostility and anger within you that you're going to be unfocused from what the main issue is, which is your communication. Excuse me. It's just something here really needs to be addressed, because this person has hurt you before, or you've hurt this person before, and it's just like you might be trying to really make something work, and you're just like, well, I want to move forward from this. How do we move forward? And it's just like, maybe you weren't meant to move forward with this person, or if you were, you guys need to seriously reassess their attitude, the history of your relationship, how you guys talk to each other, how you guys met, essentially, what your relationship is built on. And that's mainly going to come when I do these readings, I'm mainly talking to you. Like, I don't like reading into other people's energies that much. I would much rather talk to you and figure out what you're doing. Just because I do believe, I see tarot as self-help. I see it as, it's a tool for how we can navigate and, navigate through our current situations or whatever. It's like advice. And what I'm mainly seeing here, again, with the Nine of Pentacles reverse crowning the reading, is that you have a lot of internal self-esteem, worth and value issues that need to be addressed. You probably don't want to say anything, speak your mind, because this person holds some sort of power over you. Whether it's in a relationship, whether it's in a job, whether it's in a family, it can be anything. Because I'm just really getting the sense that it's really tense. And that maybe it's not even directly related to this person, but again, I feel like you've carried this for some time. And now it's just like you really have to take a look at yourself honestly to truly understand what it is that you really want. That's another thing I've realized I've gotten with you, Taurus, is that you have your eye on the prize. And again, it's far out in the distance. It's something that you're willing to work for. But you can't allow yourself to just be distracted by petty things or by someone in particular that's really throwing you off your game. There's an aspect of yourself that you really need to bring life into. It's dead or it's dying. I literally said this about some other sign. I don't remember, but it's just like a part of you just needs to wake up, needs a big jolt, because things around you are difficult and it's painful and it's sad, and it's just like you're questioning yourself. Where do I go from here? What do I do with this knowledge I've gained? And you're even just fundamentally, you're at yourself. You're just like, well, I'm working, and you're working. But what are you putting that toward? What do you want to get out of this? I think it's going to be so important for you to do that, to ask yourself that, because it's tied in with your heart. Six of Cups is a heart. I should just say that. I declare it now. That's the card that I see as like our heart, like our childhood, like our purity or our innocence or whatever. I need to stop really saying those words because nothing is pure or innocent. But besides children, I'm guessing it's the children on this card. So a lot of you, you might have children with this person, and you might be undergoing like some sort of divorce, or it's just like, this is the last straw. But you might be delaying on that. You see it, but you might be delaying or hesitating with taking that action because Who are you without this person? And I feel like that's going to be so important for you to ask. Who are you actually without this person? Who are you without having to rely on somebody else for whatever? It could be for anything, for money, for sex, for, for love. Sex doesn't always equal love. I'm going to pull one more card from the Osho Zen Tarot deck. I love this deck. Okay, 2 of them came out upright, so I'll use these. So yeah, ask yourself the tough questions, Taurus. One moment. I seem to have misplaced my book. Alright, so we have guilt, which corresponds to the 8 of Swords. And we have 2 of Fire, which corresponds to the 2 of Wands. So, this seems like an either or for you, Taurus. So I'll read both of them to give you the full extent of this. And I love the advice in this. It's really chill. I think anybody can relate to it. I think you guys will like it. So for the 2 of Fire, possibilities again. Mind can accept any boundary anywhere. But the reality is that, by its very nature, existence cannot have any boundary, because what will be a boundary to the boundary? Again, another sky. That's what I'm saying. Skies upon skies are available for your flight. Don't be easily content. Those who remain easily content remain small. Small are their joys. Small are their ecstasies. Small are their silences. Small is their being. But there is no need. The smallness is your own imposition upon your freedom, upon your unlimited possibilities, upon your unlimited potential. Recognize your potential, Taurus. See, and this thing says it better than I ever could. Excuse me. So as far as this card, the 8 of Clouds, this moment, this here now, is forgotten when you start thinking in terms of achieving something. When the achieving mind arises, you lose contact with the paradise you are in. When you drop the idea of meaning and goal, it is one of the most liberating approaches. It liberates you right now. Forget all about sin. Forget all about saintliness. Both are stupid. Both together have destroyed all the joys of humanity. The sinner is feeling guilty, hence his joy is lost. How can you enjoy life if you are continuously feeling guilty? If you are continuously going to the church to confess that you have done this wrong and that wrong, and wrong and wrong and wrong, your whole life seems to be made of sins. How can you live joyously? It is impossible, or it becomes impossible to delight in life. You become heavy, loaded. Guilt sits on your chest like a rock. It crushes you. It does not allow you to dance. How can you dance? How can guilt dance? How can guilt sing? How can guilt love? How can guilt live? So the one who thinks he is doing something wrong is guilty, burdened, dead before death, has already entered the grave. Hesitation will not help you in this situation, Taurus. Trying to have a set idea about what you want is important, but you can't hang on to your past just because you feel like it's been indebted to you. We don't have the right. No one. This reminds me of like a quote I heard in class a couple years ago. It was like, we don't have the right to carry on like the guilt or the sins of people before us or the people that we're with. No one gives us that right to bear that burden because it's not ours to take. That's their problem. We can't fix everybody's problems, but we shouldn't become an enabler to the problem or become chained to the problem simply because we feel like it's our duty or our responsibility. No, our duty and our responsibility is to get our shit together, to be independent and strong, to take risks and to do things just because we feel like, or just because we know that nothing around us can actually stop us. If we actually really look at it, if we understand that the universe is working with us, if we understand that if we put out right, we will get right back in return. We don't need negative people influencing our decisions, and we don't need to carry their guilt. All right, Taurus. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys for the March mid-months. It's always a pleasure. Adios.